In this video, we'll refine and complete a form body. After completing this step, you'll be able to use flatten, mirror, and thicken. In Fusion 360, we want to carry on with our trigger with mechanics design. We're going to go right back into edit form, and we want to grab all of these upper edges. Once again, we can double click to get the entire loop. We're going to hold down Alt on the keyboard, and we're going to bring this up. I'm going to do this a few more times. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to match the shape of the handle. Keep in mind that as we're doing this, if we rotate this model around, what we're actually doing is we're bringing this entire piece up. Now, when we look at this, this is obviously problematic because it's not going to be a smooth blend between here. Now, when we did this on the bottom, we used bridge, and you can see that this bottom edge is actually pinched in a little bit. So let's take a second to step back and understand that when we're working from a side view like this from 2D, it's a little bit more difficult for us to envision what the 3D shape is going to look like. Because of that, I'm going to use Control Z and undo back to this point. And now that I'm aware that things are in 3D and they're not quite lined up how I would expect, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to move some of these edges out to get a better shape. So I want to pull this edge out, and this bottom vertex here, I'm going to pull this out. And once we get a few of these out, what we can actually do is go to a top view. And you can see here the handle is obscuring this, but what we need is we need to pull some of this geometry out so that we're happier with the 3D shape. Let's go ahead, and this point is going to have to be on the midline. It's going to have to be all the way in. We might need to add a few more edges or a few more ridges in here to get the entire shape that we're looking for. But right now, this gets us pretty close. Let's just make sure that this bottom edge is pretty flat and how it rotates in is okay. And then maybe we'll take this one point and we'll bring that out a little bit more. So now that we have that bottom pulled out, knowing that we can go back, let's take a look at how we can blend these shapes together. So I'm going to use a tool that we haven't used yet, and that's Merge Edge. So I'm going to select Edge 1 and Edge 2, and I'm going to allow them to be merged together. So you can see that's very similar to us welding those vertices together. It was able to take those two edges and simply pull them together and get us that nice smooth division. Now that we know that we've got this rounded portion here, what I'm going to do is use Modify, Edit Form, and I'm going to take a few of these edges. I'm going to go to a front view. I'm going to begin extruding them forward. I want to make sure that I roughly match where these divisions are. So every time I get close to one, I'm going to let go of Alt. Then I'm going to hold Alt down and do it again. Let go of Alt, hold it down again, and then we'll do it one more time until we have the same number. One thing that's great about the T-splines functionality that we're using here with these form tools is that we don't necessarily have to have the same number, but in terms of the surface quality and the best practices, we do want to make sure that we are trying to stick to four-sided patches. What I want to do here now that I have these edges is I'm going to select multiples and I want to pull them out to be a little bit closer to this shape. Then I want to go in and I want to use that merge edge. So for edge group 1, I want to select these 4, and for edge group 2, I'm going to select these 4. I'm going to say OK and allow it to put those together. One thing you'll notice that happened is it welded those together, and even though we had the same number of divisions, you'll notice that those vertices are not aligned. So if we come back in and we use weld vertices, I can put those two together. If I try to select more, you can see that it's allowing me to just continue to make those selections and smooth out those divisions that we created. Now it's important that we stick with these quad-sided patches, those four-sided patches, and then any additional loops that we might want to add or any additional changes that we might want to make, we can do that at any point in time. We can always come back and make edits, but it's important that we get fairly close to our shape with the fewest number. So again, going back and forth between the display modes, I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to start pulling some of these forward. I want to make sure that the shape is matching, the underlying shape is matching what I expect. So some things will get pulled back, some things will get pulled forward, and I really want to try to smooth out or normalize this shape. This edge here probably can come up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift select or control select multiples. Then I'm going to pull that up. Then I want to take this one here and just simply pull it back a little bit. And I'll do the same thing with this, keeping in mind that we can move around in plane. And that's going to be a great option whenever you want to stick to like an XY plane or an XZ plane. It'll allow us to do that. Then I'll go back and forth between that smooth display and that box display to make sure that what I'm doing here looks pretty good. There is a lot more that we can do to this body, but we're going to stop at this point because we want to mirror it to the other side and we want to thicken it into something that we can use. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to go to Modify and I'm going to select Flatten. Now when we look in here, we've got a couple options that seem like it might work. Match will let us match a sketch. Straighten will let us sort of straighten the underlying edges. But flatten will let us pull all of these edges, these ones that are on the inside. It'll let us pull those edges to that midplane. So what I want to do is I want to grab all of the edges that I'm interested in. In this case, these are going to be all the different vertices that are on this inside of the handle. And I want to pull it to a selected plane. I want to pull it all the way into this XY plane. And again, I can do this with any number that I need, but I'm going to do this in two separate operations. So now that I have those, I want to go into my canvases and just hide the canvas for right now. And I'm going to go to symmetry. Now, when we have symmetry, this means that we can just manipulate the vertices, the edges, the faces on one side, and the same change will happen on the other side. This is a great way to model objects like this where they're symmetric almost completely. Now, of course, there's a locking mechanism that's only on one side of this, or the trigger might be on one side. But for the most part, when you're creating the basis of these designs, you want to use the symmetry whenever possible. So there are two different ways that we can do this. We've got mirror internal and mirror duplicate. Now, while it might seem like duplicate is the right choice here, we're actually going to be using mirror internal. When I do this, notice that it wants me to select faces on two sides of a plane. What I really need to do is I need to create a duplicate of that on another side. So I'm going to select my T-spline body. I'm going to select the mirror plane, and then I'm going to say OK. Notice when I do this that there is a green line on the inside of the handle, but here there is a gap because we never flattened this outside edge all the way to that midplane. So this only works if we have done the prep work to make those two actually line up with the mirror plane. We can still fix this by going to Modify and Merge Edge. I'm going to double click this one, and then for edge group 2, I'll double click the other side and I'll say OK. And it's able to pull them together all the way around, and you can see that we've got that green line. So as we're doing these types of modeling operations, there is a process that we should follow. For example, making sure that we flatten everything or that it crosses over that mirror plane. And that way we can make sure that we actually are getting that internal or external mirror. Now, if I use things like Edit Form and I select faces and I pull them out on one side, they move out on the other side. I'm going to use Control Z to undo and cancel that because I don't want to make any further adjustments to this. The last thing that we want to do to this example is we want to make a solid body out of it. And this can be done either in here with the form tools, or it can be done after we finish the form. Now, there's a reason why you would do one over the other. Now, if we finish form and we take a look at our bodies folder, we have a surface body. From here, we can come in and we can say create thicken, and we can determine how thick this needs to be and which direction we want it. For example, if we want it to be 2 millimeters thick, We've now turned this into a solid body by using that thicken on the surface. However, if we were to have done this when it was a patch surface or the subdivided surface, what would happen is that we would now have control over the vertices on the inside and the outside of the body. So if you're ever designing something that has a variable thickness, maybe you need to have more thickness in one area over another, you can do that by thickening it in a form body rather than as a surface once you exit that form. Of course, there is more that can be done here, and I always suggest that people take the time to play around with the form tools. It's not an exact science, there is very much an artistic aspect to it, but this gets us pretty close to some kind of a design. You can see that there's still a little bit more work. The components are touching there. We've got room for the motor on the inside, but there's obviously a little bit more work that would need to be done to make this handle fit around some of these components. But it gets us pretty close, and it allows us to explore a different set of CAD tools that aren't necessarily traditional in a sense. We're not creating sketches and we're not creating extrudes. We're using more of that artistic approach. From here, it's always important that we save often, so make sure that you do save your design before you move on.